comment on the recommendation. The recommendation has been distributed, so you should have had a chance to read it. We're working on the basis of common criteria and a common map, which will be put together by the CDC. And then there will be a certain foundation for what member states are to do. Now, the first thing to say is the quarantine measure. The safest method would be 14 days, but that's a discussion that has to take place among member states. And as my colleague has said, it'll be the member states who decide what measures are taken once the zones have been established on the basis of common criteria and a map published by the ECDC. So it would be possible to work on the basis of shorter periods of quarantine. We're not actually giving recommendations on the measures to take in each of the cases. We're just saying that for green zones there should be no measures, and for red and grey areas there's a whole raft of measures which would be possible. Now, talking about quarantine or testing, that is indeed the proposal which we put in the communication, but it's not in the formal recommendation, because we're not recommending specific measures. It's up to member states to choose what measures to take. If member states want to have more than one measure, that's perfectly doable. The whole purpose of the coordination is to give citizens a very clear measure, clear information at one particular time, once a week, and then the measure to be introduced on a Monday, and so that we can have a common criteria for zones which are the same colour, so you can do that for all regions in whatever member state. And then the measures are up to the member states. That's within their competence to decide.
Much. Let me just clarify something. We need to apologise for a mistake which we just found out via Thomas, that indeed in our press release it is specified there is a 14-day quarantine recommended, and I understand it is not the case in the actual recommendation.
It's not in the recommendation.
So we will.
The most secure, of course.
So we apologise for this. A lot of changes.
It's not the recommendation. It's the most secure quarantine. Of course, it's evident to say that 14 days is more secure than 10 or 5, but it's not a recommendation of the Commission. It's an example of what possible measures to take by the member states.
Exactly, and it will be corrected in the press material as well. So that brings me to the next question. I see Sandor from Euronews.